Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great 2023. Happy New Year. It's actually January 5th today, so just getting the New Year started if you're watching this live or in the near future. And today I just wanted to do a quick video on a very, very popular part of Denver called Wheat Ridge. And what I'm actually going to be doing today is a map video, which is really popular with a lot of my clients and they get a lot of value out of it because it's just something that I can do where I share my screen and I really dig deep into the area, can share with you guys exactly, what the best parts of Wheat Ridge are, what areas are, really up and coming parts of town that have great restaurants, shopping, parks, all that kind of stuff. So the map style video that I'm going to share with you guys today is really popular if you really want to, dive deeper into a specific part of Denver. And today, again, we're going to do Wheat Ridge. So if you haven't met me before, again, my name is Adam Lang. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado with eXp Realty. And, what I get really a lot of enjoyment out of, as much as I enjoy making these videos, what I enjoy even more is, just helping provide value to friends, family, and clients, are people that are potentially out of state looking to move to Denver, as well as people that are already here in Denver and just looking to potentially move their primary residence, or maybe even just looking for an investment property. So if you're looking out of state right now and you're watching this video, I would love to connect. I'll put my phone number in the notes below. Feel free to email me, call me, text me. I'm open and available for you 24/7. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to, set up a Zoom call with you if you are out of state and just chat a little bit more with you and learn about, what is interesting to you, what you're looking for, and what maybe the reason is for why you're looking into moving to Denver. So Denver's a great place. I'm a 40-year Colorado native, born and raised. And what makes this video extra special is I actually was raised a good chunk of my life in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. So I went to Wheat Ridge Middle School, Wheat Ridge High School. Our school mascot was the Farmers. I was actually the school mascot, the Farmer, for a year. So Wheat Ridge is a very special place to me and has a ton of great areas, great parts of Wheat Ridge that a lot of people don't really know about. And I'm going to share all of that with you guys today. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And I'm just going to go over a few different slides, different windows that I'm going to have open here. So I'm going to share with you guys different parts of this presentation as far as share with you guys different stuff. So I'll just make this a little bit bigger just when we get started here. All right, guys. So if you are looking at the map now, you can see that we're just looking at a, further out view of Google Maps. And if you can see here, the little, button, the little pinpoint here, that's Wheat Ridge. So Wheat Ridge is really nice because it's, it's a suburb of Denver and it borders a lot of other communities that are also really up and coming and popular. Denver is an area that is limited in geography as far as living potential, places for people to live when you're stuck between downtown Denver and the mountains. So that area between the mountains to our west and Denver to the east, that's a finite area. And that's what is one reason why a lot of real estate appreciates, is because you're in an area that can no longer expand out further. So when you go down south and east to places like Aurora, or even going up north to Thornton and Brighton and some of these other areas that used to just be a flat land, since Denver has become so popular, those areas are just, really drastically growing and expanding. And there's really the potential for it to continue to expand, as opposed, again, to places like Wheat Ridge that are limited in expansion due to the location that we are between Denver, downtown, and the mountains. So supply and demand, obviously, with limited supply, that increases home values and creates a place that is more opportune for appreciation. So that's, again, a reason why my parents and my family have chosen Wheat Ridge and really have enjoyed it. It's been a great place to grow up. So again, just looking at the map here from further out, as we start to zoom in, let me get the zoom working here. You can see that, again, Wheat Ridge is right here. And you can see, it's kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit more, but you can see some dotted red lines. And those dotted red lines are basically just the outline of Wheat Ridge. So looking at Wheat Ridge from a map perspective, basically you have from west to east, you've got on the western side I-70, which is right here. There is a section that's slightly to the west of that, and that's called Applewood. You can actually take this really cool road, Highway 58, and that'll take you right into Golden, one of my other favorite towns. What's really cool actually about Highway 58 and just this area over here is this is actually where Coors Brewery is. So, really, really cool area. So that's to the west. The western side of Wheat Ridge is kind of along that I-70 corridor. Going up to the north, again, it's kind of following I-70. I-70 is coming from the mountains, and then it has kind of a sharp turn where it goes a little bit more east. And there are some areas of Wheat Ridge just to the north of I-70, but for the most part, it's again just, between I-70 to the west and really to the north. And then on the eastern side, you can see over here, we've got here 121, that's also known as Wadsworth. And then if you keep going a little bit further east, you're going to notice it's basically Sheridan. So it's, a fairly small area. And then if you're going down to the south, we border Lakewood to the south. And you can see here, if I'll zoom in a little bit more here, you can see right here, 26th and 32nd are kind of the two streets that limit Wheat Ridge to the south. I'm going to go into more of this in depth. Some of my favorite parks. Crown Hill is awesome. I currently live near Edgewater, actually in this area here called Sloan's Lake, which is just to the east. So there's all kinds of really, really cool areas all around Wheat Ridge. So just a little bit of a background on Wheat Ridge. I'm not going to go too in depth on history and all that kind of stuff and put you guys to sleep, but just a couple tips, just facts about Wheat Ridge. So, again, Wheat Ridge is currently a municipality located in Jefferson County, Colorado, and we're located just west of Denver and part of the Denver, Aurora, Lakewood, Colorado metropolitan area. So Wheat Ridge is approximately 5 miles west and northwest of the Colorado state capital. And the city currently has a population of right around 35,000. Don't quote me on that. The last census was done in 2010. So I could probably get a little bit more accurate info for you. If you're really interested in that, I can chat with you guys after the call and we can go a little bit more in depth on some of the demographics. But again, just a really cool area. Wheat Ridge is fairly young. It was incorporated in the 1950s. And we're actually known for a lot of agriculture. So when you're in Wheat Ridge, you'll notice there's a lot of farms, a lot of really cool, locally owned and operated farms, really great for, fresh produce, getting pumpkins around the holidays, all that kind of fun stuff. So, our agriculture is kind of our background for Wheat Ridge. And we're actually known as the Carnation City, and that's since the early 1900s. Let's see, what else? As Denver started to expand, Wheat Ridge was just one of these areas that they started getting major transportation corridors built, I-70 being one of those, and that led to growth and just expansion of more people, choosing Wheat Ridge as their home. So right now at Wheat Ridge, we're just slightly above 1 mile high. So obviously Colorado, Denver's the mile high city. Wheat Ridge is very close to that. We're at 5,459 feet. So just a couple hundred feet above mile high. And again, we're located at that junction of Interstate 70. And that's probably one of the biggest thoroughfares that, all of Colorado has, and Denver as well. And what's so nice about Wheat Ridge is we have such easy access to I-70. I'm a mountain guy. I love skiing, hiking, all the stuff that makes Colorado so special. And one thing that's so great about Wheat Ridge is how close it is to I-70. You literally pretty much anywhere within Wheat Ridge, you're within a 5 to 7 minute drive of the interstate. And as soon as you're on I-70, you're good to go. You're on the one road that's taking you up to the ski areas for the most part. So a little bit of a background. We have a cabin up in Grand Lake, which is near Winter Park. And that's, under 2 hours to get all the way to Winter Park. But just to get to skiing in general from Wheat Ridge, sometimes in the springtime when the roads are a little bit more predictable and not having to worry quite as much with, poor driving conditions, I will go to the gym at 8. I'll go to the gym at 7, get done at 8, I'll leave from the gym at 8 and I'll be at the ski area at 9 a.m. when they open the lifts. The first lifts at most resorts start spinning at 9 a.m. So I'll go to Loveland, I'll go to Arapahoe Basin, and it's literally 50 minutes to maybe 1 hour of a drive from Wheat Ridge. And what's so great on the spring conditions is you can get up, like I said, you don't have to get up that early, leave your house at 8, you'll be at the resort at 9, especially if you're kind of a spring skier, like what I really enjoy doing nowadays. I'll ski for a couple hours, maybe 9 to 11. I'll get back in my car and I'll be home by lunchtime. I can have lunch back at my house and work for the rest of the day and still have a productive yet really fun day in Colorado. And that's what's so cool about living in Colorado is you can do activities like that. And, if you are out of state and you're considering moving to Denver, I really would promote that. I would want you to think about that when you're choosing what part of town you want to live in, because if you are somebody that wants to enjoy the mountains and not just be kind of a weekend warrior, but you really do want to get out there and take full advantage, being on the west side of downtown Denver, specifically in areas like Wheat Ridge, Golden, Lakewood. One of the reasons why I love that side of town so much is this easy access to I-70 and how quickly you can get on the highway and get up out of the city and into the mountains. I'm talking about ski areas being an hour away, but also one last thing I'll note on this is, you could literally get on the I-70 and in 10 minutes already be at the foothills of the mountains and still have amazing hiking and all kinds of cool activities to do. My favorite thing to do in the summer is Red Rocks Amphitheater. If you don't know about that, look it up, check it out, plan a concert to visit and go to this summer, because Red Rocks is unbelievable. It's my favorite part of living in Denver. And again, being in Wheat Ridge and this side of town, you're within a 10-minute drive of, one of the, if arguably maybe the most incredible outdoor music venue in the world. And you're within 10 minutes of there. So Red Rocks is great for concerts, but it's also great for hiking. People go up there. You can get in there for free if there's no concerts going on. People go up there and do yoga. There's sunrise worship services for Easter and other special times of the year. There's outdoor workouts going on all the time. The Denver Nuggets go up there and do outdoor workouts. I mean, there's just so many cool things you can do, again, in the foothills of Denver, of the mountains, which is within, just a 10 or 15 minute drive of Wheat Ridge. So definitely a great part of town to live in. So going back to the map here, I'm going to use a different view really quick, just so you guys can see this. So this is just kind of an outline showing exactly where Wheat Ridge is. As you can see, there's a few different areas. Where I grew up actually is here near Lutheran. So Lutheran is where Lutheran Hospital used to be. Lutheran Hospital in the last 2 years actually has done a huge relocation. They're still basically in Wheat Ridge right now. They were before they were over here in this Lutheran area, just off of 38th Avenue, and they're moving over here to kind of right on the border of Applewood. So there's a huge new complex being built. I'm not exactly sure when it's supposed to be finished, but it's got to be sometime this year in 2023. It's a very, very nice, beautiful development that they're making. There's new multifamily over there. There's a lot of apartments. There's a lot of new restaurants and other things popping up because of this expansion. So there's going to also be a lot more job creation created through this. So another just improvement that Wheat Ridge is experiencing right now. So Wheat Ridge has tended to be a little bit on the older side, a lot of 1950s, 1960s, 1970s homes. And it's slowly, really seeing a lot of improvements. And a big part of that is Youngfield, Kipling, and Wadsworth are kind of the three main thoroughfares. They all run north-south. And at some of the major crossings, for example, Kipling and 38th right here, another one would be Wadsworth and 38th. They're really experiencing some improvement with just new, commercial space going in, upgraded grocery stores, new nice Five Guys burgers and juice bars and Tokyo Joe's and just all those, nice quality, convenient places to grab lunch, go shopping, all that kind of stuff. So as far as shopping goes, we also have a really nice mall called the Colorado Mills. It's also known as Denver West. And that's just here in Youngfield. If you go a little bit further south of kind of Wheat Ridge area, you're going to go and hit kind of right in this area, right above where my little screen is. And that's, huge shopping center, all the big stores you can think of. There's also a bunch of outlets over there, lots of cool stuff right there. So you are close to an even larger selection of retail and all that good stuff. So, again, this is Wheat Ridge. I grew up in this Lutheran Crown Hill area, but I really like Applewood. Applewood is kind of one of these secrets. So don't tell too many people about it, but you've got a little bit larger acreage plots of land. You'll even see some that are even on as much as maybe a quarter, a half acre. Really nice views of the foothills of the Rocky Mountains and just kind of going up into the foothills. Good views of Golden, really easy access again to I-70, and Golden's got a lot of really cool stuff as well. I'll make another video about Golden here in the near future, so you don't want to miss that one either. I'm going to go ahead and share a different view here now with you guys. So going back to the just the map view, if you can see the dotted red line again, that's kind of the outline of Wheat Ridge. I just want to talk for a second about parks. So we have lots of really nice parks. One of the biggest is Crown Hill. Crown Hill actually borders Wheat Ridge High School. So back in high school, I was on the cross country team. We would take a lot of runs and go through Crown Hill, really utilize Crown Hill quite a bit. It's also right next to a cemetery, so even more open space. As far as views are concerned, you can see through, see over all of that, and just really gives you that feel of not feeling so congested with just buildings and commercial space and houses everywhere. So that's one area that I really enjoy and think it's a beautiful part of town. You also have Prospect Park. Prospect Park, I actually grew up playing soccer here. Really nice park. It's got some good soccer fields, some nice things to take advantage of. Anderson Park's another one. But what's really cool about Wheat Ridge is we have a thing called the Green Belt. And I'm going to try and share a separate screen here with you guys. So the Green Belt, if you see here, again, this is that same area that I was showing you previously. This is all Wheat Ridge. So the Green Belt is this Clear Creek River that follows really smack dab in the middle of Wheat Ridge. And it's just a very nice, protected, full of trees and, hiking trails. And there's a really nice paved path for bikes and for running. It's a really nice, value that we have in Wheat Ridge is the ability just to take advantage of this open space. If I click this, we'll kind of dig into this really quick. I'll go ahead and I'll actually switch over to a different view here. There we go. Sorry about that. So you can see here, people are parking and just actually going right here into the Greenbelt. This is not necessarily the best place for accessing the Greenbelt, but it gives you an idea. So, open space, nice trails, but then Clear Creek is going through this more dense part of the open space here. And it actually kind of goes down a little bit and lots of privacy, lots of shades. So when it's hot in the summer, it's a great place to get a workout in. And while we're actually on this screen, so we're on Kipling right now. And I just want to go ahead and share with you my big part of my life, my daily routine is going to the gym in the morning. And in Wheat Ridge, we have what is known as Armbrust Gym. And this is one of my really close friends, Dylan Armbrust, owns this along with his son, Zach, and also co-owned by another really good friend of mine, Andrea Palmer. And Armbrust Pro Gym is world famous, actually, because in the bodybuilding community, we have a lot of very, very accomplished, successful, professional bodybuilders that have worked out in this gym and even considered it their home gym. One of them being a guy named Phil Heath, who actually has won the Mr. Olympia 7 times and is arguably, one of the most accomplished bodybuilders ever. He grew up and went to school in Arvada, just close to Wheat Ridge High School, or to Wheat Ridge here. And when you go into this gym, it's just a culture like you've never seen before. Everybody is just so friendly and positive and just an incredible place to work out. So if you are in Wheat Ridge, or even if you're outside of Wheat Ridge, wherever you choose to live, if it's close by to Wheat Ridge within the Denver area, definitely make a point to check out Armbrust Pro Gym. They have some really cool Saturday classes that they offer for people that are interested in competing, and they even have some other stuff that's going on throughout the year, some shows that they sponsor, stuff like that. So anyways, one little side local tidbit there. Going back to the green belt, here's another video, another image just to show you guys all about the green belt. So the green belt literally just goes right through everything here. Where I just was showing you from that gym, the Armbrust Pro Gym, and that entrance right there, that was right here. So 44th Avenue and Kipling, that's where that gym is right here. And this is that parking lot that I was just showing you, and this is that trail. So again, the cross country team and Wheat Ridge High School uses it all the time because it's a nice shaded paved path, and you can, access it so easily, and it takes you all the way out here to, the far western part of Wheat Ridge near Applewood. You can even take it a little bit further east past Anderson Park, and then it starts to veer north and kind of goes up towards a little bit different part close to Wheat Ridge, including an area called Creekside Park, and even up towards Lakeside Amusement Park. So a couple other cool things about Wheat Ridge. Obviously, this was one of them, the green belt. But what I also want to show you is, I mentioned at the very beginning of this video how Wheat Ridge is known as the Carnation City. We have the Carnation Festival every year. It's a very popular summer festival. There's all kinds of fun stuff going on there. They have fireworks. They have a big, not a farmer's market, but a big, place where people sell different, crafts and all that fun stuff. It's actually at the Anderson Park and Anderson Building, which is a big public pool. That's a great spot for families and kids to join and go in the summertime. They've got a really nice water slide. Again, lots of really nice parks. There's an updated skate park there. Really cool area. And they also have, live music. They've got a big car show. And then they have a Carnation Parade. All sorts of really nice, fun stuff for families to enjoy. And this is in August of every year. So I believe this year it was August 12th to 14th. They haven't updated it yet for 2023, but again, it's in the summertime. So put that on your list too if you guys are moving to Colorado and you're in the Denver Wheat Ridge area. It's a fun activity to spend the weekend doing. So wanted to share that with you guys. And going back here to another view here of the Greenbelt, just to kind of give you guys perspective on schools. So as I mentioned, I went to Everett Middle School, and then I went to Wheat Ridge High School. I had mentioned earlier, there's also Wheat Ridge Middle School, which is a little bit further to the east. But Everett Middle School is great. Again, this is Kipling, where that gym was that I was showing you. So Everett's just up the street. It's about a 2-minute walk from that gym that I mentioned. And then Wheat Ridge High School is just a little bit south of there, maybe a 10-minute walk from the middle school. Wheat Ridge High School is, a great place. It's, got a lot of the really nice parks nearby with that Crown Hill open space directly adjacent to it. Nice views of the mountains. As you can imagine, people that are living in this part of town that really value that proximity to the mountains. Because of that, you have a lot of active people that are just, really into health and wellness and just a positive community. So if you are into running or into, that type of activity, there's a really fun Wheat Ridge Farmers 5,000. It's just a 5K that they have every year. A really fun event to check out if you guys are interested in that sort of stuff. There's all sorts of different elementary schools as well. I went to Wilmer Davis here, but there's, several in the Wheat Ridge area. So, and just a couple of last things I'll share with you. One kind of a fun tidbit just to share with you guys. One thing that's made I wouldn't say famous, but one cool little thing about Wheat Ridge is we used to have the Jolly Rancher factory in Wheat Ridge, and the Jolly Rancher factory, maybe about 10 or 15 years ago, ended up being torn down. Unfortunately, I think they were bought out by a larger company, I think maybe Hershey's. So they relocated where they were making the Jolly Ranchers at that point. But just a quick story. I remember, growing up in Wheat Ridge, and we'd have soccer practice up right across the street from where it was. And man, you would drive even within a half a mile of that place with the window down. You could just smell it. You could smell that I don't know if it was the watermelon, maybe that was just my favorite flavor. That's why I'm thinking of that. But you could really smell the factory, and it smelled like Jolly Ranchers, which I always thought was fun even as a kid. So well, let's see, what else can I share with you guys about Wheat Ridge? So another thing that's very popular recently in the entire Denver area, but especially in the Wheat Ridge area, because it's right kind of on the border of Wheat Ridge, is, I'm not sure if you guys might know this just from the animated cartoon South Park, but we have the world famous Casa Bonita. And Casa Bonita is this really funny restaurant slash entertainment place that families had been going to for years. I don't know exactly when it was first opened. I bet it's been probably 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. It's been around forever. And it was getting pretty worn out and run down. Not very good food, good sopapillas, but that was about it. So a lot of people would go there just kind of for the entertainment value. But it was on its last leg, and it ended up being up for sale and was potentially going to just be permanently closed down. And the two owners of the founders who created South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they actually ended up buying it. And they bought it probably more out of just a good thing to do for the community. They're billionaires at this point, so it wasn't exactly probably a business, strictly a business decision, but they bought it, and it's going to be opening this May of 2023. And they've been busy for almost a year now, updating it, getting it improved. So exciting to see what that's going to be like. But again, being so close to Wheat Ridge, I grew up with friends. I had one friend that in high school, that was his summer job. He was a cliff diver. So in Casa Bonita, they have this indoor kind of rock and kind of like a Disney World type thing, but there's a pool, and they have this show with this big gorilla that runs around. And one of my buddies was a cliff diver, where he would dive into this little pool while you're eating your lunch or your dinner. You can look over and they're having this stuff going on. So had another friend that was a puppeteer there. So really fun, cool place. Looking at it here on the map, see if I can find it for you guys. I wasn't really expecting to show that to you, but down here we have Colfax, and it is located just near Wadsworth and Colfax, I think right around here. So, again, very, very close to Wheat Ridge. But other than that, I think that's good for now, guys. I just wanted to, really give you a good perspective of what Wheat Ridge, had going for it. I'll do one last thing before I end this map video, just give you a little perspective on what some of the homes are like. So as I mentioned earlier, these communities in Wheat Ridge, a lot of them were older, built in the 50s and 60s. And some of these areas have seen a lot of improvement just from the popularity of people wanting to move to Colorado. A lot of, bungalows and older homes have been either scraped and built with new construction, or some of the even older bungalows have been, pop top. So they've created more of a modern contemporary house utilizing part of the existing structure. And then there's also just some newer, and I say newer, built in the 80s and 90s. And there's some that are even like patio homes that are, built in the last, 20 years, but a lot of communities that are just, nice homes, cul-de-sacs, stuff like that. So I'll just, for one quick example, I'll show you over here. We have Applewood Villages would be one example. So I'll just show you. Yeah, let's do this. So yeah, a lot of homes like this. So just nice, nice looking homes, built again in the, 80s and 90s. Clean, nice yards. Like I mentioned a second ago, a lot of cul-de-sacs, great for families. And I actually know this street quite well. This would be an example of nice community. I had a lot of, friends that lived in this area. And if you go down to the end of the street, what's really cool is you'll notice, if I go over right here, see this little path right here? That's a path to the Greenbelt. So many of these communities back up to the Greenbelt. So despite, what your backyard might entail, you have access to this, enormous Greenbelt right in your backyard. So a lot of these communities, that's a very big value, is having this Greenbelt accessibility. And I have some friends that actually lived right around here. And what was nice is, as I told you earlier, the Greenbelt, a lot of the times you kind of have to go down a little bit into a gully where it's nice and shaded, lots of mature trees. But because you have to kind of go down into that gully, it creates a lot of nice expansive views for some of these homes. So a lot of the cul-de-sacs, a lot of the homes that back up to the Greenbelt have phenomenal views of the western slope. Some of these would actually be looking out towards Boulder, so you can see some of the Flatirons in the distance and some other really nice views. So Greenbelt's a great part of living in Wheat Ridge. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this view. Just so we can. Yeah, it's kind of, that's actually a really good, another example. So as you can see here, this is all the Greenbelt. You can see that little trail right here. So, you know, such a cool, great part of Wheat Ridge. So this is actually a really nice way to look at Wheat Ridge in general. So here are a few of those lakes that I was talking about. Here you can see I-70. This is when it kind of veers more east instead of it kind of veers a little bit more to the south as opposed to going east-west. And if we go a little bit further back here, we can also see, back out a little bit more here. This is Crown Hill Park that I was talking about. Wheat Ridge High School is right here. This is that old Lutheran Medical Center that I mentioned earlier. It got relocated over here. And back up a little bit more. You get on I-70, you head west. Denver West is where that nice big shopping center is. Go a little bit further, and you're at Red Rocks. So Red Rocks is like right in here. So how close is that? I mean, you're super close to that. This other William Hayden Park's a great spot. Lots of really cool hiking trails. And then you also have pretty easy access to C470, which is another nice, easy way to get a little bit more towards other parts of town like Ken Carl, even down towards Littleton. So it's basically another major thoroughfare similar to I-70 that gets you to other parts of town. And as you can see, Golden and all that stuff's just right here as well. So tons to offer with Wheat Ridge. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this, I am a licensed real estate agent. Adam Sills Denver is my branding. I'm part of eXp Realty. If you guys have any questions, I would love just to connect with you, jump on a Zoom call and just introduce myself and share any value that I can with you, whether it be parts of town, whether it be Wheat Ridge or anywhere else within Denver, or just help you guys with any other questions you might have. So love to connect. Call me, text me, shoot me an email, whatever's easiest. The number and the email address are going to be listed in the show notes below, or you can always go to my website. It's just www.adamsellsdenver.com. All of my contact information is there as well. So until next time, look forward to connecting. And again, if you have any questions, reach out and let me know. Have a great day. Happy New Year.